I just wanted to start off with a little slow, quiet music. Hi everyone. It's Arden, the crotchety old man. It's been a little while. I've been very busy working. Got lots to do. Lots to do. Lots of fun things. Sad news today that Dr. D will not be joining us tonight. He is busy. By the way, I did not know he made reference to being called Dr. D. There was a wrestler back in the 80s, Dr. D. David Schultz. And he actually said, "Wow, I am now a professional wrestler." So I said, "Yeah." So he will be doing his best to join us next week. I may actually have another earlier show on Saturday, possibly, or Sunday. This way, I might have three shows in a period of a week, just because I feel like I need to start getting back into the groove instead of this once a week thing. So, how's everyone doing? Everybody awake after the big game? By the way, I was going to talk about the big game in a little bit, but like, how many people actually watched for the game itself? Um, we'll get back to that in a little bit. So I want you to think about that. So today I have a few things. I actually have two movie reviews at the end of the show, but I wanted to actually go because I've watched now. I have the my new award for worst movie of the year so far. Because I I watched a movie that was so bad. Honestly, it was awful. And I'll get to that also in a little bit. But first, we had more. Pam Bondi was in the House committee, and of course, she was being roasted. Now, some of it she deserves, some of it she doesn't deserve. It's just, I mean, being the head of the DOJ, every topic was on the board, from ICE to the Epstein files to everything was available. I watched it for a little while when I had a little chance and saw some of the clippets on the news and everything. And it was just, I mean, once again, it depends on what side of the fence you're on. If you're in the middle, it must be awful because it's one side attacks, the other side attacks. And there was one moment where Jim Jordan actually, because he's running it, and he said when the previous Attorney General Mayor Garland was on there, they actually, when it was the exact opposite. The Republicans were attacking and the Democrats were praising. And now they're doing the exact opposite. But Van Bondi is being ridiculed for some, mostly on the Epstein files. And that is, I guess, where I wanted to start. So I wasn't going to start on this 2 days ago, but this whole Epstein thing, I've been watching a lot of unique voices that I do follow. And some of them are like, be careful about falling into the traps. And some of the traps are how much money is actually involved in this now. Whereas there's a lot of money on the table because the Epstein was worth over $600 million. And so people want that money. And I mean, for what the guy did, he was a sleazebag and everything else. We all know that. But now, why are there advertisements on the Super Bowl for the survivors? Okay, I'm not going to say anything bad about these ladies, but my goodness, like $8 million was paid for an advertisement for them? Who's getting that money? Who came up with this money? There's going to be money from people just raking it in. Is it the lawyers? Is it other groups? I mean, it's overwhelming. And the DOJ did not do their job as far as getting out all of the documents in time. They did not. And they deserve to be torn apart about that. And, we have people going onto the floor of the Senate starting to name names. And you know what? That's great. Then there was the report that Donald Trump actually called the police in, I believe it was 2006, on Jeffrey Epstein. Oops. Now, the Democrats aren't going to be happy until they find out somewhere a Donald Trump document. Since the last time I was on, the Clintons are now going to appear at some point in time. And that's not going to go anywhere. They're just going to, it's not like they're going to be pleading the fifth, but they'll just obfuscate. Is that the word? Sorry, that public education for big words, not doing me any justice. But but they're just going to, Bloviesque. I might just be creating whole new words right now. I think I'm combining words, but yeah, they're just going to go around everything, and it's just going to be bad. It's just going to be a waste of time. I mean, I don't even know why Hillary's even in there. I mean, she literally is supposedly not in any of these documents. By the way, I wonder how many people hit Control F on every document. Control F, find, Bill Clinton. Yeah, but I mean, just the amount of information and the photos and these people, and it's overwhelming. And the fact that it's being done strictly now, during the Trump administration, but wasn't done during the Obama administration, wasn't done during the Biden administration, but only now. And it's all about getting Trump, getting Republicans, destroy him. The only thing I mean, yeah, I want the truth to come out, but at this point, I mean, you do have some people who don't want their names mentioned at all. And then there's people I want their names mentioned. I mean, some people I've mentioned hundreds of times. In fact, there was one news anchor's in there, and he's like, I don't even know why I'm in there. I mean, who knows? I know for a fact I am not in there. Even though I do have pictures of his island from when I went on a cruise 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, went on a cruise when I was in the Virgin Islands, and the ship captain actually points it out. He's like, and there's the Epstein Island over there. And I was like, boo, boo. It really didn't go over very well. It was very quiet on the boat. But yeah, I mean, it's just a lot. I mean, I almost want it just all be dumped out. Here it is. Here's all the pictures. Here's every single thing we need to know. Done. And then you got Lorraine Boebert today. She was talking, and she said a lot of the people who are not being talked about, we hear about all the men, is all the women that were actually running the organization, finding these girls, and no one talks about them. And she is thinking that she might go on the House floor and start naming all of the names. She wants more. To go more people punished for this, because no one's being punished and it really doesn't matter. I mean, what happened to the thing with Hakeem Jeffries, that literally after Epstein is already found guilty and he's not, and he's literally still taking money? Did he give that? Was there any money donated to him from the Epstein? Did he give it back? I mean, why is he not like under fire for this? But anyway, so that was Epstein, and that was just disgusting. So that's where we were for that. But really wanted to talk about football today. As you know, if you've listened in the past, I do not like the NFL. I did not watch the NFL. I did not watch the Super Bowl. I did my best to avoid as much information as possible. I'm not going to say anything about Bad Bunny or Green Day or anything. I didn't see it. So I'd be getting second or third hand information. So because I didn't see it or anything, I'm not going to talk about those guys. But I wanted to say why I don't like it. Why it's just, it seems just awful. I didn't see any of the commercials. Actually, no, that's not true. I did see some of the commercials after the fact and before the game, like the Budweiser commercial. But Budweiser is no longer an American beer. They're not owned by Anheuser-Busch anymore. So they're now a foreign country that owns Budweiser. So I mean, yeah, they have the American thing with the bald eagle and growing up on the horse. Yeah, that was cute, but they're not an American beer anymore. I mean, hey, it's still better than having what was her name? Dylan Mulvaney, whatever the girl guy thing was out there. Yeah, for Bush. What was it? Bush Light, not Bush Light, Bud Light. Jeez, gosh, I need to eat more fish again. But yeah, it just so what I wanted to say is I didn't know who played up until about a week before. Didn't know. I had no clue. I was like, oh, the Seahawks. Oh, I can't name a single player on their team. Oh, the Patriots are in. Wow. I don't even know who their coach is, their quarter. I know nothing about them, which is great. I don't care. I think the NFL is just, they've saturated the market so much that literally, like, I believe that they're throwing it all away to reach out to other fans in other countries. Yes, they've been playing football games overseas for years, and I think that was why they brought in Bad Bunny. Once again, I didn't hear anything. I heard that he was singing in Spanish for almost all of it, and okay, so he was speaking Spanish. That was to appeal to Latin America, because after the United States, Mexico is the first country that follows it. There's like 20 million fans in Mexico, and they want to be international. But at the same time, they're losing a lot of their core fans that I was. I was a huge football fanatic. I was a huge Miami Dolphin fan. Now, I honestly, I don't know if I can name two players on the Dolphins. Even if they are still there, they may be retired. I don't know. Now, where did it all begin? It actually did not start with Colin Kaepernick. He was actually in the beginning, but not at the very, very, very beginning. It actually started when the Miami Dolphins got Ricky Williams. And when Ricky Williams came out, just a phenomenal, phenomenal athlete, but cared more about smoking pot. That's all he cared about. Now, you know what? Became a multimillionaire, and who knows what he's doing now, but all he cared about was smoking pot, didn't care about the team, didn't care about anything else. That's where I started to not like the Dolphins. I still tried to follow football, but I just kind of lost its flavor. Then you had Colin Kaepernick versus Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was criticized for taking a knee when he scored a touchdown. Colin Kaepernick took a knee literally during the national anthem. One was criticized and one was like put on a pedestal. To this day, Colin Kaepernick is still put on a pedestal, which is disgusting. And then you had the end zone messages. And I actually did a hint of research, and it looks like the end zone messages were removed in 2025's Super Bowl, and they also were, and I believe they were removed. Please let me know if I'm incorrect about that. That they were not removed for this one, but they were still during the season. The end zone messages, end racism. It takes all of us. Like these completely woke, political correct things. Now, some people are like, who cares? Well, you're turning me off by having that. Like I wouldn't want, I'm just trying to think of what a Republican thing, if it's like Jesus saves or something like that, I wouldn't want that either. It's like a political statement that it's just bad. So then obviously we have the kneeling, Bad Bunny, that. Then I believe there was once again the Black National Anthem. Why? Now some people would say, well, we have to appeal to the people, the certain group. Well, so you have the Black National Anthem, then a gentleman who sings only in Spanish. What about the Asian National Anthem? What about all these other groups? Why are we only choose that? There's one national anthem. That's it. Covers everybody. Done. Why do we have to have two? I was listening to one guy who said, you know what? Let's just have ourselves an American Super Bowl. Just crazy, over the top, stereotype America. Have, some old bands from like the 70s that you would think are Go America. Have another band cover Leonard Skinner, start playing some Freebird, start having people, everyone is in red, white, and blue come out, make it, it is America's 250th birthday, this year, and we have the biggest football game of the year, and it has a guy singing in Spanish. America's 250 years. Yeah, not starting off well. So that was that. Another thing, like people were actually, I once again I didn't see it, but they said he didn't have like an ICE message, and I heard today something that I actually liked. A conversation because there was the woman about they were talking about the people being detained and things along those lines and how awful it is for these people. And there was I heard this a while ago and I reheard it again today because now I hear the whole thing. So it's a comparison. They say so people are upset that uh, people who are citizens and or people who actually have their green cards are being swept up in ICE raids. So hypothetically, ICE has a warrant for three people. They go into a house and they sweep up everyone in the house. And people are losing their minds. Oh my God, that's horrible. It's racist. It's this. They can't do this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So this is information. So here's a question. And I'm going to put not ICE, the FBI. It gets a tip in West Virginia. There are 5 rednecks, total good old boys in West Virginia that are wanted by the FBI for creating, making, and distributing meth, crystal meth. And they make it in their farmhouse. I'm not the farmhouse, excuse me, the barn next to a farmhouse. FBI raids the house, they raid the farm, they raid the barn, they find nobody in the barn, they go to the house, and there's 10 people in the house. Wouldn't every single one of those people be detained? Of course they would. They would all be taken in for questioning. Of course they would. So what is the difference between the FBI arresting 10 people in a house, detaining them, excuse me, not arresting them, detaining them, and trying to figure out who they all are, and ICE doing the same thing? ICE goes into a house. Well, they can't do that because it's racist, it's this, and they have equal rights and First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. No, they're exactly the same. By law, and by the way, they said if they stop you on the street, oh, they shouldn't stop anyone on the street. If you are a permanent resident, by law, you have to have your green card on you at all times when you're outside. Or you could have a copy of it, but you must have it. It is actually part of the law that you sign. So if you are detained, guess what? They're just going to be like, oh, okay, we know who you are, you check out. Perfect, thank you. I greatly apologize for bothering you. Have a great day. That's the way it should be. For example, if my dumbass went to a bar, which I don't do since I don't drink, but okay, let's not use a bar. I go to a hamburger place because I do like to eat a good hamburger. Even though it gives me the gout, I still like a good burger. If I'm there and there's a bunch of people who are wanted by the FBI or even ICE, they heard some German guys who are illegally here, because there are some white illegals too. Not as many, but there are some white illegals that got through, and they're there. Guess what? They're going to ask me for my documents, and I'll say, "Oh, I apologize. I have my driver's license. I got my membership to Costco. I got this. I got that. My library card. Here's everything. What else could I do? Would anyone else have a problem with that? If the FBI came into a restaurant and just like held everybody for a few minutes and they got the people they were looking for but questioned and detained everyone else? It is what it is. Now, hopefully, over time, when we get rid of all these people, then maybe they can get rid of them. I just love it when, the left is just going crazy. When they call, oh, you're Stalin, you're this, you're not Stalin, you're. By the way, that is true. They never really use Stalin. But they will say Hitler, you're fascist, you're fascist. ICE is trying to get rid of people who have not just broken the law, but broken the law and then broken more laws in the country. That's all they want to do. But it is disturbing. It's actually taking away the voter base of the left. And I mean, because they want the census, they want those numbers in the census. They're hemorrhaging people. um, I mean, it's just so bad. I mean, we have people literally now they have that super wealth tax in California. All these rich people are living. I mean, it's absolutely hilarious that the super rich, I mean, the elite of the elite, the 1% of the 1% are bailing California out. Yep. At Facebook, I believe, not just Mark Zuckerberg, but I think he's actually moving Facebook out of California, just leaving because he doesn't want to pay these absurd taxes. So, like you're losing everybody. I mean, it just doesn't work anymore. But the left continues to do what they do. All right, that was my political banter for the week. And it's only Wednesday. I still got 2 more days of to deal with this, and then I could relax and think about going to my other job over the weekend. So today, oh, by the way, it's almost Valentine's Day. What's today, the 11th? Yeah, it's almost Valentine's Day. So hopefully you get your little Valentine something nice. Chocolate's good. Chocolate is always good. Flowers. Now, chocolate flowers. That could be good. That could be good. Mrs. Alfred is allergic to chocolate, so maybe if you're new to the program and don't know who Alfred is, he's been on the show a few times. His wife, sadly, allergic to chocolate. So, vanilla flowers, not bad. Something nice. Vanilla. Anyway, some roses. Just 5 dozen roses. That's good enough. Or do you just get cheap? Just buy them the day after or the day before. There you go. So it's movie review time. Now, first, I'm going to talk about a fun movie. It is what I term a 1-star classic. It's a bad, it's not a great movie made. The acting's bad and everything, but it's funny. It makes you laugh. It's silly. You don't take it seriously. In fact, it's made to be dumb. And of course, it has to be a zombie movie, and it's a horror movie. It's not like the one that had the singing zombies from earlier this year, but this is literally called American Zombie. It is funny. It's so dumb, and it's just like, I gotta admit, I was actually entertained throughout the whole movie. I mean, there was nothing but fat guys running around as zombies and trying to kill people, and it was basically like the evolution of America. The Hispanic guys do all the work and do it well, and it's nothing but fat people. I mean, there was like a political message there that was basically like America is just a big fat country. I mean, that's really what it is. Big fat country and how dumb we are. Because that was the other part. Like, we were really, really dumb. But it's on Amazon Prime. All the movies I review, by the way, are on Amazon Prime. If you like zombie movies and you just want to be entertained, it's not scary at all. It's just silly and it's fun. American Zombie, totally worth watching. Good quality entertainment. And now, so far, the worst movie of the year. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, if I had any production value myself, I'd be able to do this. So the worst movie of the year. Now, by the way, my worst movie all time, and the only reason this actually will not replace the worst movie of all time is because the worst movie of all time that I've ever tried to see, and I tried to see it 3 times and I never could sit through the whole thing. Garbage Pail Kids. It came out, I believe, 1986, 1987. I had free passes with Daniel, another regular early on in the show. We had free passes to go see it. Went to see it. We walked out on it. I've only walked out of one other movie, But I walked out of this movie. Awful. I said, you know what? I'm going to give it. And by the way, this is based on the Garbage Pail Kids stickers, which were kind of like Cabbage Patch Kid kind of things. And it was just, yeah. Anyway, a few months later, we watched it on an old VHS tape. Yes, VHS. Go VHS. Got out the old VCR and couldn't finish it again. Oh my Lord, it was so bad. Then I actually saw it on regular TV. I forgot what channel it was, and I started watching, and I was like, wow, this movie really is one of the worst. Like, it wasn't funny. It was trying to be fun. It was just awful. So bad. Worst movie ever. So I tried it 3 times and never was able to sit through it. So this movie that I just saw a couple days ago is now my worst movie of the year. The 7 Adventures of Sinbad. So, very simple. Simple plot. Now, why did I see it? Well, it was supposed to be a modern Sinbad movie based in today's society. So I was like, oh, okay, why not? It couldn't be that bad, could it? Well, it was. And it really was bad. The story actually makes no sense. They put a whole thing on time where they have 48 hours to save something, a sinking ship that is going to lose all of its oil within 48 hours. And somehow they not only can get to the ship with a helicopter, they get to the ship, they also fly back to where they were. They get another ship actually to launch a submarine to get all within. Oh, and they're on a mysterious island. And there's 2 mysterious islands. Every part of this movie did not make any sense. Basically, Sinbad is a 7th generation oil tycoon, one of the wealthiest men in the world, and he builds a giant super tanker, the biggest oil tanker in the world, and during a storm, and they overemphasized, they made sure it was 400 miles east of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. I don't know why they kept saying that. They said it like 4 times. 400 miles, 400 miles, 400 miles. And during the storm, before the storm, the oil tanker is attacked by pirates. And because it's off of the coast of Africa, of course, all the pirates are black. That's actually probably the only thing that was made kind of sense, but except that they were in like a rubber raft that they drove up. Did they really take a raft 400 miles to find a ship? It made no sense. But then there's a storm, there's a ransom. Sinbad takes a helicopter, the 400 plus miles with the helicopter. Can a helicopter travel 400 miles? I don't know. But it goes 400 miles, and there's a storm. And while there's a storm, a giant sea monster grabs the giant oil tanker and pulls it under the water. And as it goes down, the helicopter crashes into the ocean. Sinbad tries to wake up one of his co-workers that's in there, and it looks like he drowned, who later pops up on another island, and it just doesn't make sense. It's hard to even explain. All I know is he goes on to this island. He meets this girl who forgot how to speak English but knew how to speak another language. Doesn't explain where she learned this whole story about Sinbad, who's going to meet these 7 challenges. And there's like really poorly drawn pictures on a cave wall. Okay. It's very confusing. They meet up with there's like one giant crab. Like they try to take things from all the other Sinbad movies and add it into this. There was a Cyclops, and of course Sinbad, takes care of the Cyclops without any problem. There's a giant demon in a volcano that is blown up using C4 with Sinbad in the volcano, and this poor girl who literally, she was the one who actually blew up the C4. he comes marching out and like he's like sweating and dirty, and she's like, "How did you escape?" And he goes, "Oh, I took the fire escape. They blew up the top of a volcano, and he somehow escapes." And they just, yeah, whatever. It's like they didn't even try. So, worst movie of the year. So, I am Arden. I am crotchety. And so, by the way, I'm working on some taglines, so I'm going to try this one. So, this is my crotchety opinion. What's yours? I don't know. Do you like it? I don't know. But anyway, so I needed some more Chopin or Beethoven or some Bach. So I believe this might, I'm not sure who this is, but we got our music. We're happy. So everyone, have a great week.